This is an idea I've been pressuring?
Encouraging, hassling,
assertively encouraging,
demanding, threatening.
Yeah, okay. All those are true. It's an idea that I've had for a while, that Sarah should have a YouTube channel where she talks about disability and helps people by sharing the incredible expertise and knowledge that she's developed about the NDIS. Kids. Alright, we're just gonna roll. She has got incredible knowledge. Like, I don't know how many other people have read the explanatory documents, like the full explanatory documents, the interpretive documents that guide the policy on how the legislation is to be enacted. Beyond that, I don't know how many people have actually read the legislation that those policies are based upon. Certainly, most people that work within the NDIS haven't read those documents.
In my experience, there's been a number who have, and they've been the good ones. I don't know how many people. I don't want to be too generalised about that.
Okay, I would be generalised. There's a lot of people that work in the department, hardly any have read those documents. There's going to be a little bit of bad cop, good cop when it comes to the NDIS on this YouTube channel. But anyway, look, she knows her stuff. And we're rushing to do this video today because there's a bit of a deadline approaching for the school where our boy Edward goes to, and that deadline is?
We have been given information that...
When we were talking about this as we were changing Edward, getting him ready for the school bus this morning, it was just coming out of her mouth straight away. She was boom, boom, boom.
So much easier than doing it on
She was on a bowl, she was conveying information. I was all outraged and said, right, we've got to do this video. Now the cameras are turned on, she's lost her tongue.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and yell at the kids. Like, of all the days to start a YouTube channel, it was a pupil-free day. Right, where were we? You were trying to get me to be gentle with the kids and not scream at them.
Yes, they are trying really hard. And as you did point out, of all the days to start a brand new YouTube channel, it would have to be when the 3 kids are at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, them's the breaks.
Alright, but we I thought that we had to do this because of what you told me this morning.
Yes, so this morning I told you that the NDIS has, I don't know if we've got any documents to say this, but we have heard rumours that...
You have been informed.
We've been informed. That's exactly the way to phrase it. We've been informed that there are a number of our families at the school that Edward goes to who, if they don't make contact with the NDIS before Christmas, that they'll have to go through the entire process of applying to the NDIS from scratch, as if the NDIS...
From the very beginning.
From the very, very beginning. Whereas it's been our understanding that our students, all of them qualify for the NDIS for some form of support. How much support that is individual to each child. But every child that attends Edward School is eligible for the NDIS because to be able to go to that particular school, they've got to meet really set criteria. Schools, and they've chosen to send their kids to mainstream schools, and yet they're still eligible for things like the NDIS.
Right, so getting back on track, we've got a deadline approaching for our school.
For our school,
and a small number of other schools in the state.
I'm not sure about that. As in, we've only had reference to our school,
right?
Because because NDIS is supposed to be very, very separate from the education department, as in there is this very black line. There is a brick wall between the education department and what the NDIS cover. But in saying that, because our students are eligible for this school, it meant that they should have automatic acceptance into the NDIS. But because the education department and the NDIS have this wall between them, the ability to pass information between the two of them is really difficult. So therefore, 2 years ago when NDIS came to Bendigo, there was supposed to be this passing over of information from the education department to the NDIS so that our students would have direct access to the NDIS. We have sent that, my understanding is the school has tried to send that information at least 2 or 3 times. But because the two systems do not talk to each other, that information is consistently getting lost.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yep. So that's
That's not a systems error. That's a human error. Like you can't have... Okay, a system error is when it doesn't work the first time. A human error is when, oh geez, the systems aren't compatible. Give me the information, worst case scenario, in raw hard copy, and we'll get it transferred.
Well, that's what I believe has happened in the last couple of months. We have tried to
Sarah's
get this...
being incredibly modest and she's being incredibly careful with her language. When we're talking off camera, she's a lot more assertive and saying this is what has happened. She's all this qualification she's putting into it about I believe this, I understand this. She understands it, right? She doesn't need to keep telling us that she understands it. I know she understands it. So you can adjust your language. Like if there's anything you need to say to cover your butt or cover other people's butt, okay, put the qualifications in there. But you were speaking a lot more emphatically earlier this morning.
It's much easier to do that when not, however many people who choose to watch this channel. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we've got this deadline coming up where if families get registered, then it's going to be easier for them.
Yeah, it's not necessarily...
How much easier?
If they make contact with the NDIS, the process will hopefully be much smoother in the sense that I would hope that the information about their children will be on the system and that it will be just as simple as saying, yes, I'm interested in the NDIS. Yes, I would like to get support and help. Please take me to the next step.
Right, okay.
As opposed to if they drop off the system and there is no record of their child being eligible for the NDIS, going through the eligibility. Now, going through the eligibility, if you don't actively have specialists involved with your child's care, then it's really hard
when
to
you say specialists, you're talking medical specialists.
Talking medical specialists, because we're talking about you have to prove that your child or if has a disability, and going through that process can be really challenging. As in, if you don't have a very firm diagnosis, so.
But wasn't the NDIS supposed to go away from the need for a diagnosis? Because that was our issue. Like we only got a diagnosis 1 year ago. Edward's now 11. We've had a diagnosis for 1 year. For 10 years, we had nothing. And the old system, because we didn't have a diagnosis, we didn't get... Well, we did get some stuff, but we got stuff all compared to even families with a mild autism diagnosis.
Yes, and that's the thing is that...
I thought the NDIS was supposed to change that.
So in one regards, yes, and another regards, no. As in
Hang on, no. It was supposed to change that.
It was supposed to change that.
It might not have changed that, but it was supposed to change that.
Oh, I need to stretch my legs a little.
I'll give you a feet.
No, don't, or else I will run away. You can get away with not having a diagnosis for kids that have
severe stuff.
But if you've got if you are trying to access the NDIS, and for instance, and you have autism, then that's a challenge. You've got to have a diagnosis.
And most of the families that you're working with, autism is the least of their problems.
No, not necessarily. A lot of... I would say that about half the families that I work with have children with autism.
And that's a major problem? That's why they're at the school?
Yes, because autism is such a broad spectrum, and that's the thing. That's one of the things that I think the NDIS is finding so challenging, is that autism is such a broad spectrum that...
But I thought that's why the idea was to go away from diagnosis and look at capabilities, look at needs.
Yes, and that's exactly what NDIS is doing. They may not... They are. It is how they're doing it. It might upset a lot of people on how they're doing it, because it is on an evidence base. Let me try and rephrase this again. So we're jumping all over the place. We are all over the place. We have got no structure.
No structure. Okay. And we come, and this is the thing. Like, as soon as we started talking about this morning, it was one shocking thing after another, and I was just, you what? All right, so
let's go back.
Pulling this back to this special urgency right now. Families will be better off if they pick up the phone. And say, hey, we're interested in the NDIS. Now, that was the thing that first shocked me, is like the population of our school is relatively small. We're talking 120 students.
I should have exact figures on the school council, but I can't remember. It's about that.
Okay, this is where I... Okay, let's try that again. So at our school, we're talking around 120 students?
Yeah, about that.
Much better. Right. Because then it's me that doesn't have the accurate information, and she's being assertive as the authority figure on what
I'll
she's
just
talking
get
about.
on with it.
This is a bit of a role reversal. From what you were saying this morning, about 10% of the families, 10% of the students, haven't done any registration for the NDIS.
That is what my understanding.
Okay, and you don't have the exact figures because not every family has told you?
Yeah. Well, they don't have an obligation to, as in at the school. This is my volunteer role.
Yeah, sure. They can't afford to pay you what you work.
Well, it's also a matter of who would pay, because it's a clash.
It's a clash. Yeah, you're working as an advocate, but the urgency of getting this done has come out because you, as a volunteer, and a couple of the staff at the school have been talking with families, and you keep on coming across families who, in conversation, you've learnt that they haven't registered for the NDIS.
Yes.
Right. Now that gobsmacks me because, it's not as if this has been occurring in the dark. There's been a major push, major work by the school, by yourself, by the government, to be fair, by the NDIS, to be fair, to publicise this. But what's some of the reasons why those families haven't put their hand up? Why they haven't said, hey, what do we do? How do we do it?
Some of it is... I'm trying to think. Let me list off some of the ideas. Some of it's just head in the sand. As in, my gosh, I know what it's like with Edward with some of his paperwork. As in, I kind of look at it and I go, I'll worry about that tomorrow. It's important, it's urgent, but I just don't want to think about it right now. Some of it is about they will start the process, and it's a mammoth amount. It's not... And it's
not a 5-minute job.
No, it's not a 5-minute job.
It's very easy to just put your head in the sand. But some of these families you were saying, they haven't had any supports previously? Yeah,
no supports previously. So though there's lots and lots of information out there, the other thing with it is families often go, how are they going to help me? So what are they specifically going to do to help me in this situation?
Right.
And that can be... a really difficult one to get your head around.
Okay.
As in, especially if you've never had help before. It's like it can be very difficult to take apart the difference between what is my role as a parent and what is my role as a carer.
Because they're not the same.
Because they're not the same, but because families have been doing it for so long and it's part of their everyday life, even the most intelligent person can have difficulty grasping the different concepts of how do I pull this apart.
And but it's not just a case of, okay, I've got to get this form, got to get my head out of the sand to get this form done. It's then what do I put on the form?
Yeah.
And the wording is very important.
Wording's really important, yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you have...
And what to ask for, but also what to not ask for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's such a... look, the NDIS is an amazing opportunity. I've seen it help so many people who have never had help before or have been really struggling. I mean, in our own situation, the amount of help that we've received through the NDIS...
It's making a huge difference.
It's making a huge difference.
Yeah, because we were at breaking point. We were... it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And things are a lot better now. So when I'm critical of the NDIS, what I'm critical of is... It could be so much better is the main reason I'm critical.
And I suppose that's where I see my role at the school as a volunteer. I'm able to get beside parents and walk them through this so that they don't have to get their head around absolutely every little nitty-gritty bit of detail. Just what they need to. Because I've done that. And I'm happy to share my knowledge with them to be able, so that they don't have to put so much stress into it.
So the takeaway right now, if you're watching this video, is that if you haven't got in touch with the NDIS about your child, pick up the phone and do it.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing, and this is where it comes to what we're planning to do with this channel, and this is why I've been pushing Sarah to do this, is she's got such a wealth of information. Wealth of information from our own experience in the way she's crafted the plan to get the most from the NDIS for us and for our boy. but also how I've seen her working with other families and come up with innovative ways to guide people through the system so that they get the most. But in the videos to come, we're going to be tackling individual bits of the NDIS to show you real world examples of how you can get the most from the system, and how Sarah can help families more than just one at a time.
And that will be the next video. It is going to be the NDIS. And
what is the NDIS?
What is the NDIS? What does it definitely do, and what does it definitely not do?
Right. But for right now, if your child, family member, partner, because this isn't just for kids, this is for adults as well, has some sort of disability, then the NDIS can help in almost all circumstances.
Oh yeah, I'll say almost all.
To a degree.
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exceptions would be, no, we're not going to, no, that's enough.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy. Please, the value in this channel is going to be in the number of people it reaches and the amount, and then the number of people who can make use of the information. So sharing is caring. And if you know your family that has issues with disability, wants some help with the NDIS, or doesn't know that they might need help with the NDIS, then maybe share this video with them.
And one of the things that we will start to do is underneath the videos
Links.
Are links. And those links will be like, obviously there's the NDIS website. It can be a little cumbersome to use, but if in doubt, make a phone call. As I said, the people at the call centres at the NDIS, they do their absolute best to help. But also, the NDIS hasn't rolled out completely across all of Australia yet.
That's true. Yep.
So again, just checking to see when the rollout is in your area, and making those connections, as in finding out whether you have automatic eligibility.
Yeah, but we'll do a video.
Yeah, but we'll do that.
Yeah.
So basically, keep an eye out, because we will try and cover subjects regularly. But also just keep an eye on the links below, because we'll try
links below for this video. It might be a little patchy because I'm going to be trying to get this out today.
Yeah.
But stay tuned and
just keep an eye on it, because
we're going to get better than this.
Yeah.
Like today was a schmozzle.
Yeah.
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 It was harsh words exchanged before we turned the camera on. Alright,
so yes.
Go.
Yeah, that's it. Finish.
Cool.
Goodbye. See you later.
Till next time.
Till next time.